Hey there everyone, Juan Romero here from SwitchWatch. I hope you're all really well. The other day I was having a conversation with one of my best friends and we were talking about the days when we were playing those side-scrolling beat-em-ups like Streets of Rage. So it got me thinking about what are my favourite games on the Nintendo Switch that fit the bill. With that said then, I'm going to start with Raging Justice, which is a side-scrolling beat-em-up I reviewed a while ago. That's around 3 years now. Damn, the time does fly. Now it's not the most in-depth, but I had loads of fun with a buddy in local co-op. It doesn't reinvent the wheel, but you can arrest people to bring them to justice or take them out, giving you a bit more choice over proceedings. I particularly enjoyed picking up a bar stool and whacking a foe with it, and those online leaderboards keep things competitive when trying to leave your best scores with some epic combos. This, of course, best played with a friend, like many on this list. Now, Streets of Rage I remember fondly. It was a game that came out and it was very cheaply priced. A quality little side-scrolling beat-em-up, which, as I said, super cheap, but offers loads of quality too. Here, this is a permadeath horror beat-em-up with lots of red stuff for those seeking something a little bit more gory. There are 6 players to choose from with differing playstyles. Every kill earns you cash to be spent on upgrades or to spend it on reviving yourself when you perish. Certainly one that I enjoyed very much. Now, while the takeover is not the best on this list by any means, it's still a good time. For those of you that remember that CGI skin, it's not to everyone's taste, but it does feel a little bit more like Final Fight, and Streets of Rage feels very familiar here. If you want something that has you beating up bad guys on the streets, you can't go far wrong. Cobra Kai the Karate Kid saga continues. I know what you're thinking already. This is a nice easy cash grab, but I've got to give the developers their dues. It's actually a decent game, which I enjoyed very much. There's fan service for those that love the series. The visuals didn't quite do it for me particularly, but there is a fun time here. A brilliant soundtrack which evokes nostalgia from the 80s, and I think the humour and silliness is well captured here and brings some of the essence of the series. There's plenty of levels, upgrades and characters. We're sure anyone investing in this will have a decent time, especially when you string a few of those combos together. Now, my next 2 picks are a little bit cheating really, because I've gone for a Sega Genesis Classics collection. I had to include this because you cannot not include Streets of Rage, and of course Golden Axe, which took many hours of my time when I was younger. And that brings us on to Capcom Beat 'em Up Bundle, which includes the fantastic Final Fight. If you're a beat 'em up fan, then Armored Warriors and King of Dragons will also take your fancy in this collection. Games that I enjoyed very, very much indeed, and loved going back to them on these collections. So make sure you check those out if you're looking to go back to some absolute classics. Where would a beat-em-up list be with our healthy dose of Double Dragon? And in Double Dragon, Neon and Billy and Jimmy will clear out the mean streets full of foes for you to defeat. Sure, we've seen all this countless times before, but there is something about this particular game that is so enjoyable. Whether it's throwing, jumping, running, dodging, whilst combining all of this with your attacks makes you a formidable fighter and one that feels good to play on the Nintendo Switch. Playing this in co-op and listening to those familiar Double Dragon tracks while taking out foes is still as thrilling as ever. Now, Fight and Rage, humans have been enslaved by mutants, and in this story there are several endings. And what I loved about this is the fact that there are several paths you can take with endings that can change based on the character selected and the decisions you make. I really like the combo system here and the simple controls, making it a game that any casual can pick up, but performing awesome combos just feels great. The age-old saying applies here, where it's easy to play but very difficult to master. Local co-op allows up to 3 players with a ton of unlockables. This is not one to miss. River City Girls is one of my favourite games on the Nintendo Switch out of any genre, as it's such a good game. One of the things that stands out is that wonderful soundtrack, which is absolutely top quality. Playing solo is great, but with a friend the quality really shines through in every department, from the presentation and visuals, which Way Forward are known for, to the tight gameplay controls and replayability. This always has that one more go feeling. I enjoyed the simple enough combos to pull off and how great they look. A healthy dose of bosses and foes to dispatch is just pure fun. If you've missed out on this by any chance, it's an absolute must for your collection, and especially if you're a beat 'em up fan. Now, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, the complete edition, includes all of the DLC and of course the much loved original game. It's a fantastic 2D style beat 'em up, inspired of course by the comic and movie. Your favourite characters are here to play, and you can team up with your friends to take on many waves of enemies. Honestly, it's one of the best games on this list and deserves a place in everyone's library if you're a fan of beat 'em up games like these. And lastly for today, we have Streets of Rage 4. Now, I have a natural affinity to the franchise. I spent many hours as a teenager playing Streets of Rage 2 and 3, and this one has been a long time coming for Part 4. But what a wonderful job they've done. Part 4 has a great soundtrack, reminds you of the earlier versions, great looking modern visuals, and is superb fun to play, luckily. Locally or online, you can play with a friend. I absolutely love this game and still play it today when a friend pops round. Iconic characters with Axel, Blaze, Adam, and others are reunited in this kick-ass battle on the streets. Beatdowns have never felt so good, I'm telling you, it's very much recommended. Check out my review by hitting the top right banner of the corner on this screen. Now, if you've enjoyed this video, ladies and gentlemen, we'd really appreciate it if you left us a like by hitting that thumbs up. Let me know in the comment section down below what your favourite game on this list is, and if there's any that you would add to this yourselves. I'd really love to know. If you want to join us on Discord for a conversation, then make sure you check out the links in the description. And of course, I want to thank all of our subscribers, all of our members, and of course you, the watcher. If you're still watching, then you're an absolute legend. I want to know who you are. Simply leave me a thumbs up in the comments below. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you on the next one.